Now for our featured story of the day. Let's discuss the latest from Fundstrat's Thomas Lee, projecting a Trump victory that will send Bitcoin parabolic to new heights we have never seen. We'll also be discussing the latest from Samson Mow, projecting Bitcoin hitting $1 million per coin within the next 12 months, which he just doubled down on his prediction in a brand new interview. I'm going to be sharing all that with you. So let's dive right in. This headline reads, markets believe that Trump will win, boosting stocks and the biddy, according to Fundstrat's Thomas Lee. That's right. Tom Lee says the financial markets are currently betting on a Donald Trump victory this November. And in my best Johnny Drama impersonation from Viking Quest, you guys ever watch Entourage? Victory! There you go. In a new interview with CNBC, Lee says the markets believe that Trump's odds of winning are higher than what the traditional polls will show. And I agree with that. I think the polls they show you are all BS, because I remember in 2016, they're like, Hillary's winning 94%. Trump has like a 2% chance to win. It's impossible. It can never happen. Then what happened? Trump won. So believe nothing they say on the lamestream media. But anyways, quoting him here, to an extent, I think that the markets are believing Trump's probabilities of winning are stronger than what the polls are showing. Let me know if you agree with that. But I think that when the markets sort of become more convinced of that, I think you'll see cyclical stocks do better. Small caps and Bitcoin do better, because these are really clear policy differences. But yes, to me, I think over the last couple of days, the market is betting on Trump's odds being better than the polls. And according to Real Clear Politics, Democratic nominee Kamala Harris currently has a lead over the Trump in the polls, based on an average of the data from Rasmussen, Pew Research, Ipsos, and others. I don't know if I trust any of those sources. Let me know if you do. Lee had previously said that lower rates from the Fed, which Trump had reportedly hinted support for, could be the catalyst that sends the biddy to 100,000 per coin, quoting Tom Lee again. But if the Fed starts cutting, I think you're going to see a move into Bitcoin that could correlate to what the small caps would be doing as well. There is a lot of things correlated to a Fed starting a cutting cycle. I think that 100,000 or even higher is possible. Bitcoin makes moves in very short periods of time. We have published previously for many years, showing the Bitcoin makes most of its gains in 10 trading days. If you look at the percentage gains, so those 10 days could all be in the second half of this year. Precisely what I was hinting towards earlier. The biggest run-ups of the parabolic rally post-halving of every 4 years is within 10 days. Don't get it twisted. Now, Samson Mow, as I broke down in great detail in yesterday's podcast, if you missed it, pod episode number 1740, I strongly encourage you to watch it. It's already gotten roughly like 10,000 views on X. It's blowing up, and there's a reason for it. Samson Mow makes very bold prediction that he believes Bitcoin will most likely, hit $1 million within the next 12 months, and he breaks down why that is. Here's a glimpse of why he says it. And he just wrote this, I think, a couple of days ago on X. Let's timestamp it for you guys. August 24th, that is correct. So that was on Stack and Saturday. Got 72,000 views. And here's what Jan 3 Samson Mow had to share. Someone was criticizing me on Nostr, which is ultimately the decentralized equivalent of X, probably on my fast 1 million prediction. I wonder what they think a ridiculous dollar price is. Exactly. Let's assume Bitcoin did go to 1 million per coin. Interest payments on the US debt will reach 1 trillion next year. That's 1 million BTC if BTC was at 1 million, which is roughly 4.76% of the supply. Debt is 35 trillion. Now, that's unfunded liabilities at 218 trillion. That's a total of 253 million BTC if Bitcoin was at 1 million, 12x the total supply of Bitcoin. Inflation is probably at 10% to 150% in real terms. And that is the realest shit I've ever heard, because anytime on the lamestream news, oh, inflation completely under control. We got it under 3%, nothing to worry about. The US dollar has never been stronger. Oh, don't worry about bank runs. Banks have never been in a better position. BS. Real inflation, fam, I'm going to speculate depending upon the asset we're looking at, whether it's real estate or food or oil, 100% could be anywhere from 10 to 150%. So respect for him calling out the truth. Now, all of those numbers are already ridiculous when priced in Bitcoin at 1 million. Do people really think that the broken fiat system will keep plodding along forever? It seems more likely we see a break and Bitcoin goes up very rapidly in a very short time frame. And there's no such thing as a ridiculous fiat price for the biddy. What's ridiculous is that the biddy still even has a fiat price, and that will end sooner rather than later. Let me know if you agree or disagree with Samson Mao of Jan 3. Do you think we can have that run up very fast, as well as what, Tom Lee is projecting as well, potentially in the fourth quarter of this year? Can we see Bitcoin just go on a parabolic rally, surpassing 100,000, potentially running up to 200,000 as the Oracle's projection for the year 2024? Let me know your thoughts, family. There's no wrong prediction because the prediction is projecting into the future. So if you have the balls to dare share where you feel the Bitcoin price will likely take us, let me know, and especially for the cycle peak, which I personally think will happen most likely in 2025. But I do still firmly believe we smash the 100,000 milestone in the fourth quarter of this year, and we have a 10-day period where things just go crazy. But let me know your thoughts, and welcome to the Q&A segment of the live stream. What's a pool? If there isn't a guard, someone's to drown. Rasmussen sounds like a Rusky propagandist. Rasmussen and Pew and Ipsos Research have a reputation of oversampling the Dems. It is usually a 4-to-1 ratio. Precisely what my intuition told me. Thank you for sharing your insights. They have been wrong in the last 4 elections, so we shouldn't trust them. 100%. 1 million would be nice. Bitcoin is not controlled by any gub. It is on its own path. JP, JD, DT, VP, ZP, etc. have very little control. Laugh at it, then hate it, then embrace it. Debating shaving my head soon. Have more than enough to donate. Man, do you have long hair? Do you know JV once had hair down to his ass? Real story. If you were to guess the biggest daily jump on the biddy, what would you guess? Can it add to 50,000 in a day? I think the biggest monthly gain was back in February this year. We saw a $20,000 price action. We went from like 30,000 range to 50. That's the highest monthly candle I've seen as far as the Bitcoin price action is concerned. And that was $20,000 on a monthly candle. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty confident that was the highest ever. What was the highest daily gain? I think JC once said we did get the God candle. I think just above it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think she said 12,000. 225,000 projects the Oracle before the end of the year, and 500 to 750,000 per biddy, cycle peak in 2025. Nice. Right in alignment with JV. My peak high is also 750 for 2025. And my bottom bear scenario is 222,000. Most likely, I think it'll be somewhere in between. Slower would be better. Think about the tax. There's a pick in the Discord. Buds almost are too long. Right on. Thank you for that. And if anyone's interested in joining our Discord, it's discord.cryptonewsalerts.net. We got 20 channels in the Discord. One of them is dedicated to buds. And you can watch all Bring Facts babies that he's growing. Just above the God candle, JV. That's what I recalled. Thank you, Oracle, for the confirmation. So there you go.